سواء دخل عيسى يروحوا يا ما قال يروحوا ليه أصلا بالعيال بروحوا بينايو عيال كيما لنا مال تمام عيال كان حقيقي هنا نوع عيال كان الصومالي وما يقانا وابكن واكين ودرنا بكن وهذا بان
والله حيبدا والله دخل بيسا أنا وأبوها من أبوها waxaan ma la yaabanayaa aniga waa ogolahay in ay ugu yeertid ogaaska dhaqan celiska laakiin waxaan ku yeeraa ogaaska dhaqan biiska
Somali kuma hada shab Ingiriis baad ku hadlaysaan meelaha saad koofiyada iyo kaba waaweyn baa wadataan saraawiisha ay ka dhacaysa ha anaga noo sheegi kartaan inuu dhaqankii waan haynaa odayaasha horaanahay kuwina yar yarka
a beautiful thing the good thing that I can tell you right now is that af Soomaaliga waxaad isticmaashaa markaad igu gumaysanayso dhaqanka استعماشا مركز يقوم يسيريس. The fact remains Somali هذا نهاي قربها وحنكسو مع Somali وحنكسو مقلنا هاي لباتن سنة كل واحد ماشي شو أضياء شو قوين كل ينقل إنسان هاي لكن عرورته مركز ربنا إن نهوز الرحنا وحنا أنا عنقان سرور كده عاي عنقان محوية عنقان سو Somali قالا محو Somali كتر قالا محو حتر قالا عايزنا you know we know that all the Malis know that. كذا ترى واحد كوجنا بقولكم إيه كبر إنجليز كحلو شيء صدق بقولكم ستيتس كحلو شيء probably أنت خيانة ماذا last 2 years عرفت أنا اللي قلت مكفكرني واحد يبروديوس كران واحد يسمين كران واحد society يسوي كران كنتي واحد nearly million Somalis هدي last 2 years أما 10 years أما 5 years أما even حتى هدام كود ذلنا وحنا هو إنهم بروديوس كران at least وحنا لو جبنا هاي Somali قاعدين كرنا 10,000 each 1,000 وحقوق من كرا فيل أما واحد لو جبنا هاي ومدة وحقوق من كرا such as lawyer maybe 1,000 1,000 doctors maybe 1,000 you know accountants maybe 1,000 على social worker 1,000 every field engineers what do we have you keep calling me دخل علس yes I'm دخل علس but the fact remains that I can produce better what do you have
yo هاي في إنجليز كقولها طيب ترى يو هاي اللي اسمه فهمين عليه أديك بالواحد ضد كيف فهسيه بالسوق نوتون بوكسين
واه يو أنا عيالنا لين وحرون finally عرفتنا نجسنا أنا قد the best advice وهاي سي يقول كي so at least أنا وحنا لهنا يا قلبك يا عقلك أنا كل جسمي لك I hope إن أديك عرفتها نجستو وعن كسر دوينا يا ميكروفون كإسماعيل وهذا University of York University welcome Ismail.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of education. Education is the foundation of a strong person and a means to a bright future. Arming yourself with an education opens doors that are unrivaled and provides you incredible opportunities. Many take for granted the power of a good education, which is naive. There are some who do fine without an education, but they are a very lucky few. Like my father tells me so often, I am lucky because I have a chance to make something of myself. He didn't have that kind of luck. Being very successful in Somalia, but having to leave that behind and start fresh was very unfortunate for him. However, the opportunities he lacked, I now have. And now, not only for myself, but for my parents, I will hopefully make the most of these opportunities. The only way to do this is with a strong education, so I can help my community in the future. The next topic I will discuss is peace. Peace is the most important aspect of life, and without it, there is no life. This is something that evades our country, Somalia. Somalia was once a beautiful and thriving country in more peaceful times. However, the events that have taken place in that country have turned it into a war-torn land. My parents told me that Somalia was once one of the most beautiful places on earth, and the pride in their eyes showed me that this was true. My advice now is to return Somalia to its peace and let history be our teacher and not repeat our previous mistakes.
Speaking of education, I'll call Ninka, one of the youngest team Kena, Mahadiare. Abiz and I will coach this team together.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If there is anyone out here who still doubts the power of the Somalian kids, who still wonders if Somalian kids would ever be successful, who still questions if Somalian kids would ever become scientists, doctors, lawyers, engineers, politicians, or even the first black Prime Minister of Canada. That dream is not far away if you put your mind to it. Kids need to understand that without education, you will not survive in this society. In order for this message to get through to young Somali youths, they need 3 essential keys to succeed. Those keys are the support from the parents, maximum effort from the kids, and to follow our religion of Islam. Parents don't usually start out wanting to make mistakes. They only rely on parenting instincts and don't get along and don't help with common parenting issues and problems. There are 3 common mistakes parents make. They are overestimating and underestimating problems, having unrealistic expectations, and being inconsistent. Overestimating or underestimating problems, for example, is if a 5-year-old gives you attitude and you get really mad, then that means you're overestimating the problem, because at that age, they don't understand that attitude is rude and unnecessary. Having unrealistic expectation is a big problem, because if your kid has a 65 average in school and you tell him he or she must have a 90% average by the end of the year, he will later disappoint you and you will get really mad. Parents need to slowly increase the expectations. For example, instead of reaching a 90%, allow them to reach a 75%, because that is more reasonable. Being inconsistent is when you are sometimes very strict, but other time you simply don't care what your kids are doing. If you are inconsistent parents, your kids will have a hard time knowing what is expected of them and how to act. Kids need to understand that being cool or popular in school isn't important. The only thing that is important when they are at school is to benefit from the education teachers there are giving them. I remember when I was in grade 6, I thought school was nothing and it didn't matter. I thought it was something everybody had to do because the government made it mandatory. But one day when I was entering grade 8, my father told me that if you weren't good at school, you will never live life happy and you will end up on the streets. So basically, what I'm trying to say is for the kids to be good in school, for the parents to help them with their homework and remind them that school is very important, and to pray 5 times a day so that we can show the world Somalian people are capable of doing anything.
Hey, لكن بس ولي واسس عن الزمان. Okay, قراءة لا حاول كلمات. Now I'm gonna get Abduli, in fact, his uncle, his mom, his entire family used to be family to me back home. They're still my family. He's one of my kids. Welcome, Abdul.
No problem. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wani salame. Seti. I'm here to talk about education, like Ismail and Fahad. Education in Somali youth today can improve. No problem. We can help it improve by making ourselves more invested in our children's education, and so that ISO. Okay, basically what I'm trying to say in this whole thing is that our parents focus on our education so that we could do better in our lives, and so we can help them when they go back home in Somalia when it's more peaceful. And so our parents want us to get an 80% average, we have to want ourselves to get a 90% average, so that we can make our parents more happy, make our aunts and uncles more happy, make Auntie Stat happy, make our kids happy. So what I'm saying is not only us who focus on education, but hoy ma'an, yaab ma'an, have to help us, encourage us, and to make our future more bright and productive, so that we can make Somalia the #1 country in our planet.
Other hand by education without peace. Education and peace, they go together. And that's what can make us, peace, and we can love each other. So therefore, I'm gonna call Ahmed Noor's father, actually, sorry, my son Mahad. I'm gonna call my son Mahad. I call my son Mahad after his my late brother. Simply because I remember specifically my brother, I consider my brother used to be one of the most peaceful human beings I have ever come across. That's how much I love my brother.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm here tonight to talk about peace and what it means to me in the Somali community. Peace is defined as a term that most commonly refers to the absence of hostility. But there are many definitions for such concept. Peace is not only the absence of tension, but also the presence of justice. And that peace cannot be achieved without both working harmoniously. This is something I believe Somalis, we should strive for. I strongly believe that the young Somali women and men of today will be controlling the fate in tomorrow's world. Immortality is not something we possess, so we should understand the future is near and crucial to the development of our people. I recommend the parents in attendance should take a glance at their children, because those kids one day will become doctors, engineers, and teachers of the future. I believe the keys to peace for Somalia would be first attaining good entrepreneurial relationships. And I have faith this would be a great recipe to solve some of our problems and help the upcoming generation. When peace is attained, it will considerably help us become united and bring Somalis from coast to coast, all as one, to achieve one purpose Somalians were attempting to carry out within the last 19 years, and that is peace. As you can see, these young men standing beside me are my fellow teammates and friends. The next speaker will be my good friend Ahmed Noor. He is a good friend of mine, a neighbor, and we also attend the same high school. He will also be talking about peace and what it means to him.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm here today to deliver a message of peace. Somalia is in need of peace. We need to come together as a family as we're doing tonight. Peace can be defined as a mutual harmony between people or groups. You see this big guy? His uncle, Alam Naharisto, and my father, Saeed Da'ala, were fierce competitors in the basketball court. But off the court, they're best of friends. Both enjoyed peaceful environment, and they were able to develop productive individuals and had opportunity to become what they want today. We're here today to ask every living Somalian in back home and outside Somalia to give peace and a chance so that every Somali child can have an opportunity to become somebody. Thank you.
waxaa ku macdaldarantaa gabayada ee gabayada waxaan markan u yeerayaa wiil yar oo aad iyo aad gabayada uga caanbaxay Osman Hersi. As you can see, Osman Hersi, he's a big boy.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. A little poem for this occasion. I was raised in this country because my home was taken from me. Violence, aggression, greed, and of course money. Now I think I live in a land where they don't want me. We were kings and queens in Africa. We had our own corner. Tell me what happened. Why did we all cross the border? We're a people of pride. They could see it in our eyes. A lot of us died, but most of us survived. But on the flip side, believe me, it ain't fair though. They wake up to cornflakes, we wake up to ranchero. Hirib ari iyo maraq, subag iyo malab, bariis iyo dalab. Waxaas dhan waxaan ku cabaa caana geel. And that's one of the reasons why my people won't fail. But I'm tired of hearing eulogies, stories of mutiny. If we work on it, then we are soon to be immune to failure, achieve immunity. But let's forget about M, let's work on unity. I'm Somali to the bone, even if I'm not home. My country is my love. And if I'm not with her, then I'm alone. So I call long distance on the phone. But I would go there if I had the chance, where they wear my awis because they don't like pants. And that's too. Where they do what they want to do, so we proudly chant, I'm an African, not an Africant.